Hello. Welcome on in. Good evening. Sorry for the silence. I forgot this game doesn't have music on the title screen. Give it a sec to just get adjusted here. We are going to be continuing on with Strange Horticulture tonight. We did the first session of it a few weeks back, but then I got a cold and I was having a sore throat. And I figured a game with a lot of reading out loud wouldn't be ideal until I was completely better, and I am feeling much, much better. So, yeah, let's continue on. We're gonna figure out what we were doing and what puzzles we need to solve, and solve them. I hit continue. Did I maybe want load? Uh-oh. Hello. Okay, good. We didn't lose our, save game. I was a little worried there. Hello, other streaming friend. We are playing Strange Horticulture. It is a game I kind of think of, it's kind of Papers, Please, but with plants. And, murder mystery and cult and stuff. But it's been a few weeks, so I'm not going to remember anything, which is a real good thing. We've been labeling our plants as we figure them out. This is our cat. You can pet the cat. It's great. I don't remember the cat's name. Plants, please. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, we have a botany book that we get pages for as we complete quests and whatnot. And as we figure out plants based on their descriptions, we have different effects and stuff, we can go ahead and label them. So this top row is all ones that we have identified. These are ones we're not sure on. And these are ones that we don't have a solid lead on yet. We have different doodads for various purposes. These are kind of our current missions. Oh, that's right, we unlocked elixirs. There are a lot of plants. Fatal fungi and their antidotes. Nice, I'm sure that'll come in handy. You can explore. I think this is how we do our... Yeah, we haven't figured that out yet. That was what we were going to start potentially playing with. I think we did... I'm pretty sure we did that. And that. And that. Pretty sure. I think we were trying to find this? So there's... Yeah, basically, heck if I could remember as well. I wasn't expecting to, have a few week wait between playing it again. That's okay, that's why we labeled all the plants. So this still kind of looks like this to me, but I don't think that's correct. So it's a wibbly and another wibbly. Might be this? I think it might be this. Well... could be this as well, so... couple of mountains on opposite sides of a river. Oops, wrong note. Oh, good call. There are mountains there. Couldn't be here. There aren't mountains on both sides. Could be here. Just zoomed in. Some mountains here. Too many mountains and rivers, and they all have wibbly features. Well, let's try here. Let's go to Hawkshead. Hawkshead is a characterful tangle of alleys, archways, and cobbled squares. Although most of the residents are honest, hardworking tradesfolk, it is still prudent to stay alert when navigating the town's warren of lanes. Whoops, I accidentally clicked OK, but there was nothing else that happened, so... my bad. Alright, let's get a customer. I am heading out on the road again, but before I leave, I wanted to store some valuables in a safe. Why are you coming to a plant store? I don't trust myself to remember the combination, and I certainly don't trust myself to write it down anywhere and not lose it. This is where you come in. Surely you've got something up your sleeve for me. Oh, a memory thing. Yes. Yeah, I remember there was a potion thing. I don't remember why we needed a potion, though, so... without knowing why I needed it, I don't know what I need to make. Oh, this. Right. He needs this specific ah ha ha ha. We're getting back into the swing of it. Okay. Right, so we were trying to figure out how we make this elixir. Okay, so we have pictures. Maybe we have to look for ones that have those properties as well? So we looked through to see if there was an illustration that was, like, gonna match, but not really. Plant version of potion craft? Yeah, so it's papers, please, into potion craft. Being a warning about pictures not being the best and go by written descriptions. Yeah. Well, we can just look at the plants, do our best, and hope for the best. And hopefully not murder a person. This looks like this. We have another one that looks like that. Plant potion, please. I mean, that's precisely what this guy's looking for at this point. Okay, I don't have anything that looks exactly like that, so let's try that. So let's look for these two. So this doesn't have the little springy antenna mabobbers. There's too many of these type of things. But this one looks closer than the other one. I should make sure none of these are poisonous for the ones that The one on the right is purple in the bottom row. This one? Oh, this one? Yeah. That seems likely. Yeah, let's try that one. Alright, so maybe it's another unidentified plant that's this one. That doesn't look right. That one doesn't look right either. Just wanted to double check. So we've got a few options for this top one. That one has too small of a center, I think. I don't even know if we're doing this right, is the best part. Nope. I think it's this one. New elixir acquired. Is it the Hey, it was the correct one. Where did it go? Ah, there it is. So I can tag that. Keyboard's freezing there. Elixir. I spelled that wrong. No. Ah! Everything is awful. Baylock. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Alright, so we're gonna keep elixirs way over here for the moment. So we still don't know what some of those flowers are, but we've made an elixir. And the game said it was probably correct. Yay, we did it! Spring wax cap. Not worried, I'm just easily amused. Yeah, that's fair. I've run out of... Oh, I can't remember it. It's a sweet-smelling plant with small purple flowers. Okay. I need it for reasons. Amazing indeed. I mean, hang on, let's... I mean, it's probably this one. That one's blue. Too many purples. Buttery, that's not sweet. Delicate. That's blue. Alluring. I think that one smells like death. Also blue. Hydrate! Hydration. think that one's blue. Yeah. Rather unpleasant. Smells like sweet rhubarb. Pleasant and fresh. Gentle scent. Okay, so it's probably Kabila. Let's make sure it's not... See what it does before we give it to her. Help dead find peace. Yeah, right. Here you go. Oh. How is that not the right plant? Small purple flowers, I guess. Those are smallish. Delicate. Nothing about the smell. Might be this one? What's that do? Oh, witchcraft. Yeah, it might be that one. Oh, sweet smelling. Okay, so it's this one. Alright, have fun with your witchcraft. Oh goodness, Hellebore, you haven't been getting enough food. Oh, yeah, Hellebore is our cat. Yours, good kitty. That's terrible. Whatever will become of you? My mother's had me looking into this servant creature for you, but I'm afraid I've not been getting anywhere. Oh yeah, there's this, like, end-of-world doomsday cult thing that's trying to raise a terrible thing and end the world, I'm sure. It's strange. I'm sure I've seen some reference to it before, but when I'm drawing a blank when I try to find anything. I think Lord Fremont's archives would be a good place to look. I was going to post this to you, but I was in town anyway, so I thought I'd drop it off in person. I've not been getting anywhere looking through my collections in Ambleside for any mention of the servant, but Lord Fremont's archives at whatever letter that is, Mooncaster, are home to many ancient and esoteric scrolls covering a wide variety of subjects. It might be worth a visit. Enjoy your lurk. Alright, so. Something caster, possibly an M. Heverig. Oh, I probably just totally looked over it. Widow, Blackcomb, Heverig, Lowwood. Jake's Rake. Ambleside, Hawkshead, Grisdale, Rustland. Meat Hop. Burnside, Endmore. Is it just me, or is that not on this map? That... Mooncaster? Is that one of the... secret places? Nope. Do tell me if you see it on this map, because I do not see it anywhere. I ate. Oh, thank you. I looked over it like 4 times. I appreciate it. I follow the Freeman's manservant deep into the vaults of the castle. 2 hours later, I have still found no mention of the servant. On the verge of giving up, a name grabs my attention. The Woken Dendru. Didn't Verona say that was another name for the servant? We got another letter. The Woken Dendru is loyal to the summoner, who becomes its master and can bend its terrible power to their will. The servant is assumed to be immortal, since it has no known vulnerabilities, but that does not mean it cannot be defeated. Many hundreds of years ago, a site of ritual importance was created near Blackcomb, to the south of the Watcher, the Great Oak, and the Dendru. The Great Oak, and the Dendru was ousted from this world. Unfortunately, although we know that 5 plants were required for the ritual, the specific plants are not known. Okay. So we know where the Great Oaks are, but we don't know what plants we need. Norwood, please. Find it's the only thing that can keep me nodding off on the night shift. Sure, I've got that. I just have to find it. I don't remember what it looks like. So I have to go through all of them. Was that one that... Aha! Daisy Duck. Simple potion that will grant courage, can be brewed from the leaves. Let's change this to a yellow label. And bump it up a shelf. We got room. Yeah. We're gonna have to start putting stuff on the next level, I think. Let's start scooting these down. There. There's kind of room. Yeah, exactly. Okay, we'll start putting them here. Said the dead groaned northeast of Tibet. Oh yeah, that's right. We were looking for that too. I knew there was something we had been actively looking for. Dead ground northeast of Tibet. That's right. We'd been making our way through this quadrant. Let's start here and make our way. Nothing here. I don't remember which ones we tried, so nothing on A33. I don't want to wait for all this nonsense, so we'll go the next day. Oh, right. First letter of the Latin name of a plant known as golden light, the number of petals on a lucky camellia flower. Okay. When her chance finally came, she did not hesitate even for a moment. Afterwards, when the Arda was dead, she felt only elation. Years after she had first laid eyes on the book, she had what she needed. Alright, well, let's do this. Golden light. Alright, we have to remember which one golden light was actually called, because I remember that was a whole thing. This would have been easier if it was not like 3 weeks ago. I think it was the mellow thing. Mellow glow? Nope. Alright, we're gonna do a quick skim. And Cabela 7 is the good luck, so something 7. Ember Soul. Fox Button came free. I know we've absolutely identified it at one point. Kind of wish you could search this. Wasn't St. John's poppy, was it? No. There it is. L7. L7. I amble through meadowlands, stopping every so often to examine any wildflowers that catch my eye. Buttercups, daisies, cowslips, red clover, knapweed, cat's ear, and hidden among them some new for my collection. More plants. Okay, so we've done that. Yay, more plants. The Sisterhood was attacked last night. Bethany is dead. Oh, geez. Along with the new Arda and 13 others? Those damn fools with all their secrets. No amount of pleading with them could get them to see sense, but through blind luck we have been left with a slender hope in this fight. That's a lot of dead people suddenly. Sister Charlotte managed to escape the slaughter with the one thing that could help in the fight against the servant. Is it a chainsaw? Oop. Trust no one. Keep it hidden, but get it open. I don't have a key. Nope. It's probably one of these dumb things. Alright, well that's just gonna sit in our pile of stuff for now. Let's wait 1 sec and then we'll try the thing on the map again. Because this is almost ready. Stupid time gate for no real reason. Okay. Alright, we tried here. Let's do the next one over. Alright, it's not that. They're saying the Sisterhood has been attacked. Don't know much more than that the Seeds of Redemptionists have got all excited about it. Oh boy. Those are the, jerks that tried to get me to join their cult. Oh yeah, we can have the cat go after the cursor again. Yeah? Yeah? You gonna bet at it? Aw, okay. Foxfield Trident. Alright. I remember how to do that. Foxfield. Foxfield Trident. From Foxfield, the trident points me in the direction of some foothills, northwest of the Swinside Stone Circle. A faint path leads me over a ridge and into a dell. Here a plant thrives sheltered from the wind. We got another friggin' purple plant. Too many purple plants. I am going to Blackcomb. I will kill this servant. My people have a saying, he who lives without fear does not live at all. I will not say that I am not afraid, but it would be no bad thing to die hunting such a noble adversary. Don't go die for no reason. I will take Ember Soul. Alright. I think I have that. Well, why don't I look at the book? Then I know what I'm looking for. Uh-oh, we haven't identified it yet. Okay. Thought to have protective properties. Produces flowers with many petals. Watch out for the leaves, they're razor sharp. Okay, so it's something we haven't identified yet. That has that sort of a flower. This one? I think it's this one. Yeah. Widow's Woe. Right, so that's Ember Soul. Okay, that goes back there. Start our next shelf. This is almost up, so let's try another spot on the map. Nope. I'll keep chugging away at that. Allow me to present my services. I own a small shop that specializes in curiosities. Do you have a key for this box? I would have thought that someone in your position ought to be interested in pursuing our collection of manuscripts on elixirs, for example. Oh, yeah. 21 Orchard Road. Really? Alright. Is Orchard Road on this map? I don't think so. Are we supposed to remember which city had an Orchard Road? Because I really do not. Well, we're gonna check another one of these then. We'll come back to you. And more Raven Spider. Equipped with the Arda's knowledge, she journeyed west to the Stone Circle. Unknowns to her, she was not alone as she made her preparations. And more. Well, there's a spider and a raven, so... Nope. I now have to wait for this stupid thing to fill again. So it's probably between... So, like, here? Or Endmore to... Oh, to raven and then to spider, I think is how that worked. We got instructions for that 3 weeks ago. Here it is. String multiple symbols together. Okay. Yeah. That's what it is. I'm gonna get it. Okay. And more... I just had it. There it is. Okay. And more... Raven... Spider. A jackdaw croaks, hidden somewhere nearby. Strange shapes of old stones pierce the long grass. Among them, some plants grow. More plants. They're not even purple this time. So many plants. Okay. Have you heard of this masked woman? Imagine having that amount of power. Nations would kneel before you. You would be a god. That creature, it's huge, unstoppable, and they say it obeys her every command. Bring up the business card again? You got it. It would certainly come in helpful with my father-in-law tomorrow. I guess I'll have to settle for some Daisy Duck to help me get through it instead. Uh-huh. Business card. Arnside. Oh, is there a town named Arnside? That would make sense. I didn't even check that. Yeah, I'll check that in a sec. Okay, so Daisy Duck. Probably this. That matches what the leaves look like. Let's do Arnside quick. Well, let's do this first. Dead man's fingers. Daisy Duck. Arnside. There it is. The dark exterior of Arnside Antiquities blends into its surroundings. A tailor called Jones in an ugly-looking haberdashery, to the extent that I walk past it 3 times before I find it. Inside, however, I am greeted by a world of intrigue and wonder. Old trinkets sit alongside faded books and manuscripts, while strange utensils and machines, their uses unfathomable, occupy rows of display cases. It is some time before I peel myself away, returning to Undermere with 2 new recipes for elixirs that demand further study. Overcome their sense of fear. Okay, so this one gives the Latin names, and then this one tells the type of things. Sure. This letter was delivered in an unusual way. There was no address provided, just the horticulturist spelled wrong. I have to assume it was meant for you. If you know your plants, this letter is for you. Oh, okay. Aha! Ho-ho, so you got it working. Oh, yes, yes, it works, it works. Look to the north of Bowfell at the source of the river. Esk. Nobody knows it grows there. It will be our little secret. Ho-ho. North of Bowfell. Yes, so here. Sure enough, I find a plant here I have never seen before. Got yet another plant. Okay, so we did that one. Funky indeed. My husband likes to forage for mushrooms, but I'm worried about the ones he's brought back from his latest venture. I read too fast for the text. He's just been on a trip across the lake, exploring the woods to the west of here. He's got a bag full of odd-looking mushrooms that he says are perfectly safe, but they don't look edible to me. I've brought one with me to help identify it, but he's hoarding them. Or I'd have brought one with me because he's hoarding them because he thinks I'm going to throw them out. Oh, thank you. I was thinking I was going to have to remember that. Woods west of Undermere, across the lake. Okay, Undermere. So, one of these? Mushrooms. How have I not been here before? They're hard to find at first, but soon I'm seeing them everywhere. Yay, hopefully they're not poisonous, but I did find them. So that's exciting. Lord Fremont told me he was able to help you get some information on the servant. I've been looking all over the library, but all I've discovered is a mold problem. That's not good. I hoped you might have some sweet breath that could help clear it up. Palliance. Okay, I was making sure I didn't have anything. Sweet breath, freshness of the air, many short leaves. Okay. This maybe? Somewhat pungent, probably not. Pleasant and fresh. Probably this. Yeah. Sour bendy. Okay, so this is Hulyens. Over to the identified plants with you. Okay, this is up. Let's try this again. There it is. The wide area of blackened ground here is known to the locals as Dead Man's Field. Dark mushrooms protrude from the soil like fingers reaching out from the grave. Oh, it's probably literally that thing I just got a page for. I'm gonna put a purple tag on that. Phew, excuse me. Ah, thank you. Also, we've finally done with that one. After 10,000 years. This one's the elixir. I wonder if I make it, if it will tag before I need to give it to someone. Because that would be convenient. I can try. Arbutum alacritas AMM. Okay, so Kabila. We've absolutely identified. I just need to find it. I wonder if I should just switch my identified to the bottom, but that just seems like a lot of work. There it is. Okay, so Kabila. Nope. Maculus and... oh, here. Drenthium. That's the green eye one. Hoppert, Shimmerlung, Jacob's Worth. I know we have absolutely identified that one as well. There it is. Literally almost the last identified plant it could have been. And, oh, that goes here. I don't know if that makes a difference. Malculosis retentia. Sounds like a memory thing. Obitus. Oh, there it is. Ooh, we haven't identified this one yet. It's henchuck. The fruit on it. Tuberous bulb growing in bursts that give it a striped appearance when cut open. Turns to blue-green. So probably this? Maybe? It's flowers, though. Yeah, I don't think that's one we've identified, because we would have labeled it. That's flowers. Looking at the description, the potion, like, yeah, that tracks. Yeah. I don't think it's that. I think of the ones we have, this is the only one it could be. Let's see what happens. Oh. Oh, apparently it's bad. Okay. Welp. Alright, well that's what I get for trying to get ahead on that. In that case, let's try to find this again. Yeah, mountains and churches. Are these churches? I don't think so. Oh, I know that symbol. That's the Sisterhood? This one. Nope, we did that. Ah, I don't want the archive anymore. No, close the archive. Okay. So this is the Sisterhood. Forest is eerily quiet. It has a sinister feeling now that the Sisterhood is not watching over it. Did that note just warp itself to the archive? Or is it just on the... Nope, no idea. Yeah, that is sad. Okay, I don't know. Next person. My cousin will be married in 3 days. If you've got some Trimble Huff, then it would save me the trouble of going out to find some myself. I don't know. Do I? If you knew my cousin, you'd know she's not worth the trouble. Ooh. Shade. Decoration at weddings. Cross-section, small cup-like flowers point downwards. I think it's these. Nope. I'm wrong. You have to admit, it was a good guess. Alright, so let's look at these. Nope. 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 Probably. I think that's the only other one that fits the description. Yay! We got there eventually. Yeah, glowhorn. Oh, that's probably this. I mean, it's probably the glowing one. But we'll tag it with purple because we're not positive. Let's scoot some plants this way. This one's Trimble Huff. Sounds like someone's OC Harry Potter house. Okay, so we got 2 elixirs we don't know yet. These are antidotes. What's this one? Near Blackcomb to the south of the Watcher, Great Oak. We've been to the Great Oak. I don't think we want to go there right now. Alright, so I think this is just showing where this is. Yeah, I don't know. Uh-oh. Alright, end of day. Too much growing dread. 8 miles to the east. The shepherd watched as she prepared the leaves and the roots that she would require. He watched as the hours dragged by, the sun set, and she worked by candlelight, at times sitting still, at times moving like a dancer among the stones. The change happened suddenly, but also subtly, so that at first the Watcher was not sure that anything had happened. Then he saw it. And to stranger. Big demon thing. Drawer, please. So what could... The Great Oak, maybe? Not sure what else this symbol would be. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope. Alright, that's not it. Don't know yet. Well, he went and ate those bloody mushrooms. Oh, are they poisonous and now we need a cure? Okay, yep, we're gonna need... Hang on. This list. Okay, so it was this mushroom. Was the one that he ate. Okay, so we have to identify this mushroom. It wasn't Bishop's Parasol. So we'd already identified that. It wasn't Copper Caledonian. It's probably Farmer's Worry. Just safe to consume in small quantities. But let's check the Spring and Sunset. I don't think it's that. And we don't even have Sunset Mount Cap yet? Oh yeah, we do. We've identified it. Okay, I think this is Farmer's Worry. We'll know for sure in a moment. Okay. So if this is Farmer's Worry, to cure it, we need Royal Gentian, which we have identified. Everheart. Relus, no. This one? This one. Yay! Oh, that only identified... Okay, so if that was correct. Liverstone. Strong paralyzing agent. That might be this one. Okay, so that means this one is Farmer's Worry. If that was the correct cure. Okay. Let's look at that card again. No. It's like a double identifier? Yep. So if they're not talking about the Great Oak, I don't know what they would be talking about for this. Because that was this spot. Stone circle. Let's rake. Low wood. Yeah, I am not sure on that one. Ooh. I have been to Blackcomb, so I see. I have fought the servant and lived, but still my adversary stands. It must be defeated. For my part, I am ashamed to say that I am done. My soul could use the tonic of St. Quentin's elixir if I am ever to recover from the horror that I have seen. That's the one I didn't try. Okay. Okay. 5-pointed leaf to grant courage. Okay, we want courage. Mind, seed pod. Or luck. Warming. Red pod shielding effect. Okay, candlewood. That makes sense. Let's grab candlewood. Let's find candlewood. This one? Nope. Nope. That's why we labeled them. Watch it need one of the plants that we haven't found because of the clues. Is it down here? Oh, come on. Oh, no, we haven't identified candlewood. That's the problem. Okay. It's one of the... Okay, that's why I couldn't find it. Okay. Alright. Seed pod for luck. 5-pointed leaf for courage. Ah, Daisy Dock. 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Daisy Dock. Seed pod for luck. Seed pod for death. Not quite. So many death plants. Sharp focus, gastric distress and anxiety, air quality. Good fortune, sheep snap. Probably this. Alright, so Daisy Duck, Candlewood, and I'm going to tag this one in case it's correct so I don't have to find it again. Sheep snap. Alright, let's try it. We did it. And we identified another plant. 2 plants. Where? Oh, there it is. Saint Quentin's elixir. And then we also... You go back here. You get a yellow tag. And you get a yellow tag. I need to move these just out of the way, I think. Too many plant. Okay. Excellent. There you go. Brittle. Coveted by the rich, crushed to make dyes. Hard to come by, requires great care to cultivate. Okay. Next, please. There's a hateful man I sometimes see around town. He's called Isidore Burbridge. Yesterday I saw him bending down as though to pet a stray dog, but instead he punched it as hard as he could. Obvious villain is obvious. I rushed over and the coward fled. Someday he'll get his comeuppance. Sadgill Chalice. Okay. Got it. Oh! Alright, I understand now. Let's do this first. Let's find Sadgill. The chalice clue takes me directly south of Sadgill to a spot next to the river. Moss-covered rocks line the banks, velvet to the touch. In the moist contains a deadly-looking plant grows abundantly, or conditions deadly-looking plant grows in abundance. Oh, looks like a Venus flytrap. Alright, now we wait for this to charge, and I have solved the other thing. Okay, so that's done. Water the plants while we wait. So it charges faster. Okay. So the coin is Goesforth. So 8 miles to the east of Goesforth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gazing at the still water of the lake, its black waters draw me into a reflective trance. Here and there, flowers that I don't recognize grow along the bank. New flowers! So many plants. Alright, so we have one more elixir. Still don't know if we're supposed to go there. We still don't know where that is. And then this is just useful to keep on hand. We don't have a key for this yet. Can I put this in the archive now? No? Okay. Verona tells me you're working on gathering plants for a ritual that will help us defeat this creature. Yes, I have no idea what I need. I want to help in any way I can. From what Verona told me, I think this might be one of the plants needed to perform the ritual, but I'm afraid I do not know where it can be found. Swift snare. Heart-shaped leaves. I wish I could tag the book. Heart-shaped leaves. See if there's anything else that has heart-shaped leaves. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this down here. We're gonna tag it with red and put a question mark, because we're not sure. And I'm gonna go back to putting question marks on these just for clarity. Okay. So that's potentially one of the ones we need for the thing. Nope, not that one. Alright, let's look at this. Not this one. This one. Okay, so Great Oak. Near Blackcomb, to the south of the Watcher. Great Oak. A huge tree stands before me, impossibly tall and wide, bigger than I could have ever imagined any living things might be. Its upper branches graze the sky. Yep. Okay, that's just letting us know where that is, I guess. My daughter is getting married and I want to decorate the church with nice flowers. Hey, there's a plant for that. Blue cup-like flowers supposed to bless their union. Do I remember the name of it? Heck no. It's fairly recent, though. I think that was Was that Trimblehuff? Maybe not. I think Trimblehuff was too recent. Nope, it's Trimblehuff. Here you go. Okay, we still have no key. No idea on on these two. And we don't need these two at the moment. Although if I want to have another go at this. I have some Rising Dread space here. Means I have to remember what they were again. Cabalia. There it is. I'm gonna put them down here. So we have Cabalia for sure. Aculosis and Mens. Oh, Dranthium. There it is. And maculosis. Okay, mind-altering abilities. Let's look at what they do. Maybe that'll help us figure out the last one as well. Dead find the afterlife. Alright, let's get back to Dranthium, and I don't remember the name of the other one we were looking for. There it is. Or no, that won't help us because we have the Latin name. There it is, Henchuk. I think maybe we don't have this one yet. Tuberous bulb. Is it this? I don't think so. No. 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 I think it might just be one we don't have yet. Probably one of these dumb plants. Okay, so let's put these two down here. And we want to try one more spot for this. I'm open to suggestions on where to try. Cracks. That's not river or mountainous enough. I mean, we know that maybe it's just a reminder where the sisterhood is, like the oak one is, because well, let's just go with that for now. Okay. Next day. Decay gives way to new growth, from death life. The cycle starts again, west of White Scar by the river. Behind the woman, a dark skeletal figure began to rise, and a low primal snarl sounded across the clearing. The shepherd turned and ran, cold fear coursing through his veins. He did not run for long. He died. Got eaten by a shadow beast. Okay, let's start with this. West of White Scar by the river. White Scar. Wait, Barrow. There's White Scar Cave. I don't know if that's what we're looking for. Maybe? Make sure there isn't any. That's probably what it is. I don't see any other White Scar. There's White Fell, I think that's, or Whitfell. The sun-bleached skull fixes me with its black-eyed gaze, a reminder. From the chest of a skeleton, the plant grows. We got a dead skeleton plant. Hooray! Would you like a dead skeleton plant? I've lived in Undermere all my life, and I've never seen the people as worried as they are now. Well, like, a couple dozen people have died at this point, so yeah. Everyone's talking about the sisterhood and the servant. Again, couple dozen people dead, fair. I was speaking to a woman from Arnside who told me of a cave nearby that the locals stay away from. Apparently there was a strange plant that grows there, but the cave is believed to be haunted. Unfortunately, she was vague about where the cave was. Somewhere to the east was all she would say when I pressed her. Okay, so east of Arnside. In a cave. With a box of scraps. We gonna be Iron Man. Okay, Arnside. There it is. Oh, probably this cave. A thin crack runs down the rock face, widening as it nears the ground. Just wide enough for a man to slip through, but there's a problem. A large boulder blocks the entrance, too heavy to move. Hey, we know what farmer's worry is from curing a person. I am surprised at how easily I am able to roll away the boulder with the help of the farmer's worry. As my eyes adjust to the darkness, I discover several clusters of fungi growing there, reaching out desperately to the thin strip of light provided by the crack. Twilight Lepiota. Okay. More plants. So many plants. Why can't I remember? There was something important, but I know there was, but there's only darkness now. I don't think we've identified Sour Brandy yet. Nope. Is that one I have tagged? I don't think so. Nope. Okay. Large stamen, extremely bitter. Not sure. Oh, probably this. Yep. It's this. It's coming back. It happened in a dream. The woman in the jade mask was screaming at me to get out. Instead, I went deeper. I entered the mind of the creature. It was like slipping into a dark pool. Icy cold with who knows what terrors lurking beneath the surface. I felt powerful. Then suddenly something happened. She tore me out and my mind went dark. I have not been myself lately. No, you've been in a jade mask wandering around town. I'm sorry to say. Umbrella. Ooh, smells strawberries. Hang on, come back here. Come back here, you. Is it this one? No, I think it's this one. Okay. Pretty sure this is Umbrella. I remembered that description under my umbrella. It's not that big of a plant. I mean, you could hold it over your head. I don't know if it would help. Okay. Nope, that's not what I was looking for. My wife of 30 years is dying. That is the truth of it, as painful as it is to say out loud. The doctors say there is nothing they can do, but I cannot sit by and wait for it to happen. A man at hospice let it slip about a plant-based elixir. I don't know what he meant for... I don't think he meant for me to hear it, but I did, and it's all I can think about. This one. This one. I understand the risks, but any price is worth paying if it means she doesn't have to die. I don't think you're gonna like the outcome of this. I mean, I'll do it, but you're not gonna like it. And then you're gonna come back and be mad at me about it. Okay, so now we do have to figure out which one is Henchuk. I don't think it's that. I really don't think it's that either. It's probably one of these things I don't have. Looked up a thing, you should have gotten it from a letter day 4, so you should have it somewhere. So day 4 is ages ago, so... Alright, so it's gonna be one of these. The ones that are yellow tagged have all been positively identified. In purple tag, I don't have anything that fits the description, and it's not this. So it's the blue-green when it's ready to harvest, so... No, that's fruit. Those are fruits. Okay. Let's look at all these more closely. Nope. Nope. None of these have a seed pod. That's not a seed pod. I don't have much else that meets the description, so we're gonna put that there. Or the bulb. Oh, it is fruit. The fruit of the henchuck. Ah. Alright, so maybe it is one of these. It's not green-blue, but maybe it's just not ready yet? Oh, the bulb is quite firm and turquoise in color. This is what they're talking about. Okay, it's this. Yikes. That took a long time. Alright, we found it. It's gonna be this, but I'm gonna do that for the moment just to be sure. It had almost too much description on the page there. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Ooh, we got there. Huzzah! This should fit on a shelf. Yeah. Okay, so this is the cheerfully named Elixir of the Damned. Hey, one more note we can put away. Okay, you're not going to be happy. Average. It's probably this one. What a delightful shop you have. I'm only in town for a brief visit, but I heard I might be able to get hold of some liverstone here. Maybe. I don't think I've identified that yet. Nope, come back. Nope. That's Stop it. There we go. Why would you want that? You're gonna do some shenanigans. Oh boy, indeed. Ah, this one. Because of the description, oops. It's gonna be this one. I'll rename it if it isn't. Thumb. Pronounced tomb. Whoops. Associated with death. Fragrance and soaps. Oh, hello again. I mean, hello, person I've never seen before. I can't control it anymore. This has all gone too far. I never meant for it to turn on my sisters. It's too strong. I'm trying to hold it back, but it wants to kill. That's all it wants. Death, death, and more death. Shocking. You have to help me. Widow's woe or dead man's fingers. So dead man's fingers. Strength and resolve sharpen the mind. Induce fear. Let's do dead man's fingers and see where that takes us. Because the thing's already released, so if I can maybe get you to control it, that would be good. Let's see where that takes us. Carnivorous Tauren. Known in North America as Andrew's Bane after the unfortunate demise of a man called Andrew Jardine. He was caught and slowly eaten alive by a large specimen of the Tauren. Revered in the occult world, a cross-section of the Tauren stem reveals pentagonal symmetry. We might have done a bad with giving our dead man's fingers, but I don't know. Neither option seemed great. Plus, we might have done bad ages ago, so who knows? I mean, that's probably this. It looks pretty carnivorous, but we'll see. There's been talk over the last few nights down the Royal Oak of a servant creature going around slaughtering people. Yep. That is accurate. I used to enjoy walking in the hills, but I daren't leave my house now. Fair, because that is an actual creature. Decided to bring nature to me in the meantime. The glow of a few pixie lamps would surely warm my heart. There you go. Oop. Penny Bell. Issued by some for hallucinogenic properties. Nope. Another one identified. And we take a peek to see if we have any of the others. The umbrella. I think that's one that we, yep, tagged. Not sure if that's Tauren. I'm gonna wait. I'll find him as we need him. Although... it's probably this. Okay, what else we got? Devil's Nightcap. Nightcap. Corpse's fiend. Ingested a seed will cause slow agonizing death. Plant will grow out of the body once deceased. Oh, where's our skeleton flower? Crap. This one? Yeah. before we forget that that was our skeleton flower. Okay, what else? Average, we have a guess on lesser Meridoc. Smaller yellow florets. So... the round flower head. So probably this. Sweet smelling? Strong smelling. I'm gonna tag this one. Lysol of Neptune. Sparsely petaled pale flowers give off a strong scent. Maybe? I cannot type. Meekdu, we have a tag. Let's make sure that's still the best choice. Yeah. Honeybill. Strong and leathery. Nope. No leaves. That's not it. No leaves. I really don't think that's it. Nope. Either unpleasant scent. That one I don't think we have, or it's one of these that I've tagged otherwise. Unless it's... I don't think it's that. I think we don't have that one. Or I'm missing something on the description. Priddle. I don't have a strong contender for that one either. Spring wax cap. I think it's this one. Okay, what else we got? Storian. Dark red fruits. Probably this one. Swift Snare, we have a potential ID for. Tomb. Maybe? Well, that's the closest I got by a mile, so... And it's got a smell that you could absolutely see being doing in soaps and candles. Twilight Lepiota. Dirty flower. Foul smell. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's this one. There it is. Twilight Lepiota? I don't think I have anything else with a similar leaf that would have a foul smell. And I think we had one or two more that we have nothing tagged for yet. Just one more, Widow's Woe. Unpleasant, starky dank flowers, bed of long, thin leaves. This one? Unpleasant scent, though. No. Might be that one. I'll tag this one as Widow's Woe for the moment, because it's one that we would have for sure, because we had an option to give it. Alright, well, we've given a quick possibility on everything in the book that minus a few. To the east of the castle, across the river and through the mountain pass, it grows at the edge of the wood. She finally had the power she had craved all these years, a servant to do as she willed, but that power came at a cost. The servant was awoken, and it would not be contained. It was the Dendru, the dread. It was death. Okay. On that super happy note. Okay, to the east of the castle, across the river, through the mountain pass. So we're looking for something east to a castle. Across the river, through the mountain pass, edge of the wood? Probably not. That's, excuse me, a bit far there. There's no mountain pass or river. Across the river. Oh, east, this way. Mountain pass. Oh, it's probably this one. Nope. I was wrong. It won't even let me look until... It's either that tile that's not quite in the woods, or it's a different castle that I'm supposed to be looking at. Okay. Let's check the other castles. It's not through. It could be this one. I don't think it is, though. What are our other options? Still think this one's our best bet. There's no river here. Oh, except there's two rivers before the mountain pass So maybe it is this one. So castle, mountains, edge of the wood. Okay. The trees sway effortlessly in the cool breeze. The low hum of crickets chirping rides the wind. A sense of calm washes over me, and I'm rewarded with a new find. Ooh, you're fancy. I don't think I had anything that was just... It moves fast for a plant. Mm-hmm. A little concerned about that. It is time. The servant is on the move again. Time to act. Meet me at the ritual site. I hope for all our sakes you've been able to track down all the plants we need. I know what one of them is, question mark? Oh boy. We must act before it is too late. Gather the plants and meet me at the ritual site. Oh boy. We didn't figure that out. I'm gonna get a hint. I don't know what that does, and because I have one question mark? Well, that's... Alright, fine. Not helpful. No? That's not the ritual site? I thought that was the ritual site. To the south of the Watcher, the Great Oak, and the Dendro. I thought it was saying that the Great Oak was the site. Hopefully I didn't need to figure this out. Or this. I do not want to go through all the archives. But I probably should. Children's song, listen to it. Dead ground. Yeah, that's not helpful. I think we got that one. I don't remember what we got there. Probably should have tagged it. No, you're a wiener. No. Long Meg. Nice. Welp. God, close the archive. Thank you. So it's not the Great Oak. South of the Watcher. Well, we'll try south of the Great Oak, I guess. Okay. Instructions were unclear. A small stone shrine sits off to one side of the clearing. 5 grooves run out from the center of the stone, widening into recesses at the base. 5 slots for 5 plants. Oh, God. We have no idea. It's probably in here somewhere, because it's got the 5 things. But we never found a key. It's probably here. I'm tempted to check to see if this is something I need to find. Plant that can open locks somewhere. Oh, alright. Actual useful hint. Thank you. I didn't remember because that was a long time ago. Clevium. Thank you, hint. Because that was several weeks ago. Okay. Follow the Didden tributary to its source. Okay. Never seen this plant before, and here it is growing in abundance. Oh, that's... Widow's Woe. Come back, book. Or no, that's not Widow's Woe. Oh, maybe. Shouldn't be. Well, we'll put it there and we'll figure it out. I think there was one that we weren't sure that we hadn't tagged as anything. Let's take a look at this. First is the corpse's friend, a reminder. Ankle grabber, the binder. That's this one. I don't know the order. Third is the fear bringer. Fourth to lift a curse. Last a petal to secure black blood's reverse. So I'm guessing they're ones that I haven't totally identified. The Fearbringer was Widow's Woe, I think, actually. I mean, it matches the picture. Oop. His friend sounds the skeleton one? Ooh, good call. Which one did I immediately think that was? Well, I know that's one we need, so let's look that one up. Yeah, that's the ensnare one. So, second one. Fourth to lift a curse. So, corpse's friend. The, death... Or, this one. Devil's nightcap? Corpse's friend. Yep. Then comes the ankle binder. Fearbringer is Widow's Woe that we're not 100% on, but that's okay. Last petal to secure Black Blood's reverse. I assume it's one of the Heelys of these, but let's check their descriptions. Spring wax cap. No. Sunset mountain cap. Probably not. Bishop's parasol. Oh, I think it's that one. Nope. I was wrong. Copper Caledonian. I was reading the wrong one. Oh, curse. Forced to lift a curse. Why did I put this one here and what is it? Ah, too much going on here. Often fatal, what no known cure. So if it is that... Okay. That we needed for something. Oh, here we go. Elderfinium. Oh, because that's one of the... Okay. So we need Elderfinium for number 5. I think that's... Did we identify that one positive? Yes, we did. Okay, so where's my Elderfinium? There it is. I have a save I can drop. Oh, saved automatically. Alright. I'm gonna keep looking for anything more solid for lift a curse. Lemon Dandy, Affections of the Heart, Truth Teller, Paralyzing. Oh, long veracund. Okay. Okay. That's one we've identified. There it is. Just gonna double check to make sure there isn't anything else that fits the bill for any of these. Good fortune, Shimmerlung. What color are... No, that's not heart-shaped. Okay, just making sure. That one might also be tomb. Dainty dark flowers. I still think it's this one. But it could be this. I mean, that looks closer on the petals. Those aren't dark. Because there was a previous one that we could do Widow's Woe, so it leads me to believe that it's this one. But this matches the thing better, and it's one we just got, which leads me... That leaves me to believe that that's the correct one. Ah, watch it be something that's from here anyway. I am annoyed I still haven't figured that out. Alright, let's try it. I'm gonna put myself a list here in order so if I have to redo, I don't have to go through all of them. Just gonna type them into chat. One sec here. Doswo. Long... whatever. Long... Verarund. And Elderfinium. Okay. So let's try it. 3 are correct, which means 2 are not. Oh, okay. So probably not this one. We're gonna play Mastermind and find what happens when we get Rising Dread, I suppose. 4 out of 5 are correct. Okay, so this was probably our swap. Which means one of these is wrong. I thought this was Devil's Nightcap. Is there another one that might be Devil's Nightcap, or do I have the wrong plant for one of these? Or is this not Swift Snare? Do I have anything else heart-shaped leaves? What is this? Oh, it's probably this. Because of the leaves and the fact that it moves. Since it's a grappling plant. I bet it's this. We also just got that one. Woo! Well done, I will take it from here. I stand back and watch as Verona walks around the shrine, muttering soft incantations. It feels like a long time passes before she looks up, but in reality it was perhaps only 10 minutes. Nothing's happening. What do you mean, nothing's happening? Have we got the right plants? I think so. Perhaps we just need to be patient. The loud noise behind us makes us all jump. Turning round, I see something that makes my blood run cold. The woman in the jade mask is walking calmly and slowly toward us from the other side of the clearing. Behind her, standing tall and terrifying, is the black silhouette of the servant. I think I killed us. What was that about being patient? I think we're out of time. Do not be afraid. I'm here to surrender willingly. The servant cannot be allowed to... Arg! The creature lunges forward and brings a huge arm scything towards her. Her scream pierces the cold air and she drops to her knees, clutching her head, but the blow seems to glance off to one side as it comes hurtling down and the beast's claw ends up embedded in the dirt instead of the woman's back. Yes, I finally have enough. Alright, so maybe it didn't matter which one we gave her. I can't hold it back much longer. You need this. She throws a small vial of red liquid, which Ruben deftly catches and holds up to the light. Blood. Quickly! I know what to do. Okay, I'm glad you know. Verona grabs the vial and fumbles to get the stopper out as she turns back to the shrine. The servant had its arm free again and is slowly advancing with strange jerking movements. Verona pours the blood into a small cavity in the shrine and everything seems to happen at once. A pillar of bright white light launches out of the shrine toward the servant and hits it in the chest. The huge beast shrieks and staggers backwards, drowning out the screams of the woman in jade mask who is clutching her head and writhing in agony on the ground. Ah! There is an almighty thunderclap and a blinding flash of light, and suddenly the servant is gone. A patch of charred ground smolders where it stood just moments before. My head is spinning at what just happened. Did it work? Have we defeated the servant? With the dust settled and the servant vanquished, I have been able to reflect on the events of the last few weeks. We are fortunate that Thea was able to stay in control of the beast for as long as she did. Who can say what would have happened if she was unable to prevent it causing the destruction it craved? Yay, we didn't kill us. Undermere has never felt so jubilant, so full of life. All the nervous tension that had built up evaporated in an instant, and the people have plowed their energies into celebration and merriment. They do not know the whole truth, of course, that Thea, the woman in the jade mask, was the one who summoned the servant. I promised Ruben that I would leave it to him to unravel that mess. She is his daughter, after all. And as for myself, well, I'm back in the calm of Strange Horticulture, of course, with Hellbore for company. It's quieter around here, but I am content and there are always more plants to learn about and discover. It is done. The servant can go back to being a dark story for dusty shelves. Ending 2, Elder Finium. I'm not going to be streaming the other endings. Alive. Everyone's alive except you. That sucks. So Ruben, the investigator, alive, attempting to reconnect with his daughter. Verona Green, alive, the occult scholar. She regularly visits you for advice. You've become firm friends. Deceased Bethany Coleman, the sister, killed by the servant. Alive, Faye Swift, the psychic. She has not dreamed of the servant since he performed the ritual. In hiding, Ennis Aylford, the cultist. Has not been seen since the defeat of the servant. There are rumors he is living in Rydale Cave once again. Oh, that's the cult dude. Wounded, Forrest Vare, the hunter. Both his body and his pride have been damaged, but he lives. In hiding, Thea Ward, the woman in the jade mask. Ashamed of her actions that caused so much pain and death, it is unlikely she will ever fully recover from the trauma. I probably have plants for that. Alive, Isidore Burbage, the barrister. Currently pursuing legal action against Strange Horticulture. We did it! We got an ending that was good. At least I'd call that a good ending. Almost everyone's alive. We defeated the servant. We didn't join a cult. Cat cam. Oh, is that a thing that happened? Hang on. Did I miss that? My chat kept disconnecting, so let me check something here. Ah, there was a cat cam. Oh, I have enough and that was cat cam. Okay, I see. Yeah, please let me know. There's something up with the, requests not showing up properly, where, like, they're supposed to in my OBS. I didn't even notice. It usually goes in chat. Well, I'll let the credits roll, and I will go get a kitten. I'm gonna stop using my mouse wheel. One moment, and thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that a lot. One sec. I mean, waiting to get through the big wall of text is also fair. I'll flip back if there's a post-credit thing here. This is Solaire. What? He's the more malleable of the two cats, but he's still sometimes a little squirrely, as you can see. Hi. You're supposed to look at the camera. There you go. One large snuggly boy. Urgh. Hi. I know, but people on the internet want to see how cute you are. Don't you want to look cute for people on the internet? You just want belly rubs and pets. Let's see if I can get a better angle. Where? Oh, he is very fluffy. He very large, fluffy boy. Very snuggly. I know, there was nothing there. I'm deliberately making you look in a direction where there's nothing interesting. Animal cruelty. Poor body. Are you somehow comfortable there? I'm sorry, I stopped petting. You're getting a very long cat cam here now. Yes, he is a very handsome boy. Sometimes he wakes me up in the middle of the night by sitting on my chest And when 16 pounds of cat demands that you wake up and pet him, you don't have much of a choice but to pet the cat. Yes, I'm talking about you. Yes, you're purring very hard. That's why I usually grab Solaire for this. He's less bitey and also likes the attention. Whereas Wash is kind of bitey. Oh, the credits are looping, so we're just getting the music now, which is fine. Oh, I know you like belly rubs. Yeah, let me show off how large you are. He is a very large cat. You want to say anything? He says purr, purr, purr. The most important of messages. No fat, just fluff? Pretty much. He is not overweight for his size, he is just big. Alright, well, let me make sure there's nothing here. Earlier. Oh, there's more. But wait, there's more. I was thinking we were gonna have to switch to something else. Alright, let's epilogue. While I awkwardly cradle cat here. Cat hair in my nose. Yeah, that's yours. You ever heard of the Monastery of the Black Veil? I think it would interest you. I learned of it from a man from Ravenglass. If you're ever in that part of the world, you should ask him about it. He owns the Horseshoe Inn on Main Street. Yeah, keeps track how many plants you've identified. Where did that note just go? So there's a mountain in towns, I think is what we're going for here. Yeah, I don't know how you're comfortable like that, buddy. Carry on, because you also are not being blocked by the mic, so that's good. My arm will eventually get tired holding you like this, but, you know, sacrifices. Okay, so this, and this. So this is what it is. So we need to go 1, 2, and up. You'll live. Whose side are you on? Got a clue how many endings there are? At least 2, because we got number 2. I doubt it tells me for the achievements. The cats always. I mean, fair. The sun is low in the sky. I'm tired after a long day. I've earned this reward. To be fair, you wouldn't get to see Cat's dream without me, because I have the thumbs. Oh, this is that yellow one. That we thought might be the other thing, but we weren't very enthusiastic about it. This one. So much cat hair. That's the downside of giant fluffy cat. Yeah, it's gotta be this one is Lesser Mary Doc. Yep, that matches. Okay, goodbye. One sec here. Cat is now wandering off. Readjust my position in here. I hope that was more than enough cat cam to make up for almost missing it. Okay. So this one, I'm pretty sure, is Lesser Mary Doc. And the other one, we have no idea, so I will just take off the label. You're very welcome. Thank you for sticking around and getting channel points for it. Give me an excuse to hug Solera a whole bunch. Not like I need much of an excuse for that. And this was the other one. Long thin reed, leaves quite rigid, aromatic, is sharp and citric. Oh, that might be the soap one. Twilight something something? Nope. We'll worry about it when we get there. Okay. Okay, let's, whoops, come back here. Man from Ravenglass. Where is Ravenglass? There it is. Old classics, interesting games, and kitty cats. What's not to love about this channel? Aw, thank you. I'm glad you've been having fun. I've been having a lot of fun streaming. I tell people that I was always the kid in high school especially that would either have friends over or go over to a friend's house and go, look at this weird game and play it for them just to show them, or lend it to them and pester them until they played it. So now I just do it on the internet. On the place first and kept circling it with your own cursor. I can't see that. I am met by a man with a thick black beard and kind eyes who is delighted to have found a willing ear to listen to his stories. You won't find the Monastery of the Black Veil marked on any map. They don't want to be found. The monastery was on the edge of a wood, I remember that much. We must have been heading west because I could feel the sun on my face, and it was evening. We crossed the two rivers, then we followed a river for a while. I could hear it to my left as we traveled. They left me here in Ravenglass, and I've stayed ever since. However, if you're serious about going, you'd better have this. One of those better be those instructions. Oh, there's an elixir. Okay, good. This is the actual thing. Excellent. Thank you. Oh, I think that's those things what we just identified. Well, let's look at... Let's do this first. We're gonna check to see if they're still our best bets. Didn't want to say anything unless I was struggling. I appreciate that. Thank you. I try to be pretty upfront when I would like a hand. You know pretty well what nudges are appropriate. Okay, Storian is the red fruit one. Yeah. Storian. I appreciate you, friend. Tune. Fragrance is soaps. Ah, that's the fragrance one. Okay, so... somewhat damp, so probably not. Oh, this is... we need to tag that one because it was part of the thing. Hang on, it started with an S. Swift Snare. I didn't get a chance to tag those. Alright, got distracted. Tomb. Still think it's this one. Stench of Twilight, so... this one? Yeah. One time, Elixir's Black Veil. Yeah. So I'm sure I'll need that for the thing. To go to the place, the Black Veil place. That just stands to logic. Elixir of the Black Veil. Ta-da! One more thing we don't have to have in our inventory. What's this letter? Okay, we don't need this anymore. Pretty sure on that one. Okay, let's find this. Okay. Edge of the wood. We were heading west. 2 rivers. So, edge of a wood, east of 2 rivers. Followed a river for a while. Here to the left, Ravenglass. So Ravenglass is... oh god, where was Ravenglass? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I was actually pretty close to where I was thinking. So Ravenglass, the river on the left would be this way. Followed the river for a while. And we went east. Monster was on the edge of a wood. So probably here? The figure, 3 figures, their faces hidden behind black coverings, come out to meet me. The figure on the left speaks first. The monks of the Black Veil know of the horticulturist. Then the one in the center of the group adds, they will share their knowledge if they receive the payment. The final member of the trio stays silent. Hey look, that thing I figured we were gonna need. Ta-da! The third member of the trio accepts the elixir, and together they disappear into the monastery. Sometime later they return with a stack of parchment. Holy cow, we got 4 book entries. Wow! We got a bunch of book entries. The author can attest the supposed cure does not work. Goodness indeed. Alright. Well, let's... ding that we haven't even had a person yet. That was all just bonus stuff. It's good to see you too, Hellbore. It has been a while. Hellbore agrees. You seem as relaxed as ever, though. Nothing ever phases you, does it? Hellbore's a cat. I must admit, I've been buried in my books and seem to have missed all the excitement. I hear you and your plants had a part to play, though. And how? Almost as if the puzzles were written around me and my plants. I've been collating some info on a selection of plants for a little book I'm putting together. Is it this? I was hoping you could help me finish identifying all these plants. Okay. Let's start with the moonlight flower, Bella Nox. I've always loved that one. Sweet, I get to try to identify some of the ones we just got. Fun, fun. Dark, mysterious, beautiful. Okay, so these we identified. That one is Tomb. Should have figured that was going to be the case. What as well? Lesser Mary Duck. Red Ebony, Meek 2. Was that the only one we weren't sure on? Of the only one that... Oh, Storian. That was another one we identified. I don't remember if that was one we ended up using. I don't think so. Average. Oh, and the Twilight one. Okay. And sorry, I need to scroll up. It's gonna super zoom in. Long Verdant, Widow's Woe. Did this end up being the Widow's Woe? Or did we switch it and it was something else? I don't know which one ended up being the Widow's Woe because I didn't get a chance to tag it while it was still there. Don't remember. Alright, well, we'll tag them both as question mark. We'll just tag it for now. There we go. Okay, let's find Bella Knox. Now that we've eliminated some possibilities. I wonder if it's that purple one because nothing else is matching the description. So I bet this one was Widow's Woe and this one is Bella Knox. Yeah, haha, we got there. So I think this is basically post-game letting us fill in. Just asking about all the ones that haven't been identified yet is my guess. Which is nice, I appreciate that. Okay, Spring Wax Cap. Sense of accomplishment. Sense of completion. Haverage. Okay, so this one was Widow's Woe. That too! Let's start stacking them down here. Okay, so that's Haverage. It's also asking for the ones that we didn't get through in story to confirm, which is nice. Fool's Midnight. I think that's one we just got the page for. Potent sulfuric aroma, dark mushroom. Probably this. Rotten sulfur, yep. Yes, let me identify all the plants. Excellent. Okay, demo. Probably this. Maybe not. This one. Yep. Lesser Meridoc. That's the one we had just gotten and decided was this one and the other one instead. Alright, let's scoot these a touch here. Lesser Meridoc. Yep. Umbrella is this one. That must be a new one. I mean, I probably don't need to tag them at this point, but I'm going to. Because also then I know it's not one of them for looking for the rest of them. Evolume. Scent is considered overpowering. Many short, pretty leaves, so probably this. Evolume. I like logic puzzles. Scooch stuff down. Oh, this is the last of them here. Pennybell next. I think that's one I didn't have anything that I thought fit the description, so let's take a look at that one again. Bell-like flowers, heart-shaped leaves. Oh, I thought this was the other one, so this must be Pennybell. That makes sense. That makes sense why we couldn't find it, because we had it tagged as something else. Birdum? This one, that's definitely the leaf. Another herbal remedy for sore throats that doesn't work. Oh well, let's see what it looks like at least. That's the one we were just reading the page on. Hliscus. I mean, of the options, it's gotta be this one, yeah. Hliscus. Nope. Not Hliscus. Alright. So not you. Is it you? It's one of these two, I think. Nope. Well, we might find out what happens when we get the Rising Dread. Unless it's a plant I don't have yet. Okay, that one's Hliscus. Good, because I was running out of possible plants. Veil of Neptune. Let's double check the description before we plonk the one we thought it was. Because it might now be this one. Oh, that's one I think I had marked as either that or something else, so I think it's this one. Okay. Meekdew. That one I remember being real solid on. I don't know what else is going to be carnivorous. Alright, I thought so. Carnivorous Tauren. Caldery. Yeah, that's the only one that's even remotely close to the description there. Priddle. Oh, these ones must be wrong because, or we've identified them and just didn't know for sure. Yeah, that one's red ebony. Just didn't grab the confirmation. Oh, Devil's Nightcap, I think, was one of the ones in that final. Yeah. Okay. This was the other one that we'd confirmed for sure. Which means this is Priddle. The last plant. We identified them all. Well, that seems to be all of them. You know, I think you've earned the right to call yourself an experienced horticulturist. We just got an achievement called Experienced Horticulturist. Trollolol. I think we did the things. Let's put our stuff away. Boop. Pet the cat. What happens if I hit hint? Does it just say end day? It's late. I should lock up. Oh, sorry, Hellbar. I just wanted to see what would happen. I'll pet you again. And back to the main menu. Well, that timing came out about perfectly. We're going to wrap up just a touch early this week, or this Tuesday. Because we are done Strange Horticulture. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry for the long delay on getting back to that one. I'm going to hit continue just to get more music going. Yeah. That was fun. I enjoyed that a lot. Like I said, I like logic puzzles and that sort of deductive stuff. And we got to have a murder mystery. I will be back on Thursday. I'm not sure what with yet, but we will see. Keep an eye on this space. Keep an eye on various social medias. If you missed the first episode of this, it is up on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Hulyen. All my stream VODs go up there. This one should be going up in a day or two. You've got usually a couple day turnaround on that. But thanks again for hanging out. I appreciate it so much. You take care. Have a good night. Bye!